Take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a moment. I want you to listen to the sound of your own heartbeat. Notice how it does not ask for permission to exist. It simply beats. Now, contrast that with the way you move through the world. Have you ever walked into a room full of people, perhaps a party, a meeting, or even your own family dinner, and felt a chilling sensation that you were actually made of glass? You speak, but the conversation flows around you like water around a stone. You laugh, but your laughter feels like a hollow echo in a canyon where no one is listening. You are there, physically, but psychologically, you are a ghost. You find yourself checking your phone every 3 minutes, not because you expect a message, but because the glowing screen is the only thing that acknowledges your touch. It is a digital heartbeat to replace the human one you are missing. You have become a master of the social fade, that quiet, tragic art of shrinking your shoulders, lowering your voice, and gradually disappearing until you are nothing more than a witness to other people's lives. In the quiet hours of the night, when the blue light of your phone finally fades, the question hits you with the weight of an ocean. Why am I so easy to ignore? Is there a defect in my soul that makes me invisible to the tribe? If you are feeling this, I want you to know something that might shock you. You are not invisible because you are small. You are invisible because you have been engineered to be. You are a victim of a sophisticated architecture of isolation designed to keep you quiet, keep you consuming, and keep you desperate for the very validation that is being withheld from you. Today, at the Behavioral Psychology Lab, we are going to perform a forensic deep dive into the social ghost protocol. We are not going to give you empty affirmations. We are going to decode the dark neuroscience of why your brain interprets silence as a physical wound. We will expose the biological machinery of the still-face society and the cold logic of the cyberball effect. And most importantly, we will open the ancient, iron-clad toolbox of Stoicism to give you the cognitive weapons you need to stop begging for a seat at the table and start building your own empire. By the end of this journey, you will realize that being unseen is not your weakness. It is your greatest strategic advantage once you learn how to weaponize it. I am going to make a prediction. By the end of this video, that heavy sensation in your chest will begin to transform. It will shift from the weight of shame into the gravity of power. Because the antidote to being invisible is not being loud, it is being sovereign. Let us begin with the biological trap that started before you were even old enough to speak. Before we analyze the world around you, we must analyze the hardware inside you. Why does it hurt so much to be ignored? Why can't we just not care what others think? The answer lies in a dark reality of human evolution. For 99% of human history, to be invisible was to be dead. If the tribe did not see you, they did not feed you. If they did not see you, they did not protect you. Your brain developed a social pain system that is hardwired into the same neural pathways as physical pain. But in 2025, this system is being hijacked. We will discuss the dopamine hunger trap in a moment, a mechanism that makes you addicted to the very people who ignore you. But first, to understand why the modern world feels so cold, we must look at a haunting experiment that revealed the foundation of your social despair. This is the story of the still face. In the late 1970s, at Harvard University, Dr. Edward Tronick conducted a study that changed our understanding of human connection forever. It was called the still face experiment. Imagine a mother and her baby. They are in a state of perfect synchrony. The baby smiles, the mother smiles back. The baby points, the mother follows the gaze. Their nervous systems are dancing together. This is the social baseline. This is where we feel safe. Then, the experimenter gives a signal. The mother suddenly stops. She makes her face completely blank. No anger, no sadness, just a still face, a void. The baby's reaction is immediate. It tries to get the mother back. It smiles bigger. It reaches out its tiny hands. It makes sounds. It is trying to fix the connection. When that fails, the baby begins to scream. And when that fails, the baby does something that should haunt every adult listening to this. It collapses. It turns away. Its posture slumps. It enters a state of social dissociation. Now, look at your life today. You live in a still-face civilization. Think about the last time you tried to share something meaningful, and the person across from you was staring at their phone. That blank, glowing rectangle is the modern still face. Think about the read receipts on your messages that stay unreplied for days. That is the still face. Think about the corporate meetings where your ideas are met with a wall of indifferent, unblinking eyes. You are that baby, grown up. Your nervous system is constantly shrieking, trying to get a reaction from a world that has been trained to be blank. But because you are an adult, you don't scream. You just fade. You internalize the still face. You start to believe that the void is not in them. The void is in you. One of our researchers, who spent years studying the effects of long-term isolation in urban environments, found a heartbreaking pattern. Many people who feel invisible start to self-ghost. They stop looking in mirrors. They stop grooming themselves. They stop using their voice. They are waiting for a mother world that will never smile back. But here is the twist. This invisibility is not an accident. It is a design. In dark psychology, this is called presence deprivation. If a system can make you feel invisible, it can make you buy things to become visible. It can make you vote for people who promise to see you. It can make you a slave to any hand that offers a morsel of attention. To break this spell, we must move from the nursery to the laboratory of the mind. We need to understand the cyberball effect and the chemistry of your exile. Why does the world feel so selective about who it notices? Why does the golden child of the office or the social circle seem to radiate light while you remain in the shadows? Let us analyze the cyberball study conducted by Dr. Williams. In this experiment, a participant plays a simple digital game of toss with two other players. At first, everyone is included, but then the two other players who are actually computer programs start only throwing the ball to each other. They exclude the participant. Brain scans of the excluded participants showed a massive spike in the anterior cingulate cortex. This is the exact same part of the brain that lights up when you break a bone or burn your hand. Your brain does not know the difference between "they didn't invite me to lunch" and "I am being hunted by a predator." This creates a state of hypervigilance. Because you are in pain, your brain starts to process information in a distorted way. This is the 8K resolution trap we mentioned in previous deep dives, but with a dark twist. You develop what neuroscientists call social monitoring system, SMS, hyperactivity. You become so sensitive to signs of rejection that you start to see them everywhere. A slight delay in a text response becomes a sign of hatred. A yawn during your story becomes a sign of your worthlessness. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic, begins to thrum with anxiety. To save energy, your brain starts to shut down your social projection. You stop making eye contact because eye contact feels like a battlefield. You stop using expressive gestures because you don't want to draw fire. You have entered low signal mode. And here is the tragedy. Because you are projecting a low signal, people actually times start to ignore you more. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy of the nervous system. You are trying to hide to stay safe, but your hiding is what is making you invisible. We must also talk about the vagus nerve and the freeze response. When you feel invisible for a long time, your body stops trying to fight for attention or flee the situation. It enters the dorsal vagal shutdown. This is the ghost state. Your voice becomes monotone. Your face becomes a still face of its own. You are physically present, but your soul has retreated to the inner citadel just to survive. You feel numb or empty. This is not a lack of emotion. It is a surplus of unexpressed protection. But what if I told you that this inner citadel is exactly where the Stoics found their power? What if the very place you are hiding is the laboratory where your new self will be forged? We have decoded the pain. We have seen the still face of the world and the cyberball in your brain. You understand now that your invisibility is a biological survival mechanism that has gone into overdrive. But how do we flip the switch? How do we move from being an invisible victim to a sovereign observer? There is a concept in dark psychology called the power of the unseen. Most people are desperate to be seen because they are weak. They need the gaze of others to verify their existence. But the person who can exist without being seen is the most dangerous person in the room. We are about to discuss the Ghost Protocol for reclaiming your life. This is not about becoming a social butterfly. It is there becoming a social architect. But first, you must learn the most difficult lesson of Stoicism, the art of disdain. Tool number 1, the dichotomy of presence. Epictetus, who was born a slave and became one of the greatest minds in history, taught us that our only true possession is our prohairesis, our ability to choose our reactions. Most people use their presence as a bid for attention. They dress, speak, and act in a way that says, "Please look at me." This makes them a beggar. And no one respects a beggar. The Stoic ghost uses a different strategy. You must decide that your presence is a gift that you are currently withholding. Stop bidding. When you walk into a room, do not look for who is looking at you. Look at the room. Observe the patterns. Who is anxious? Who is lying? Who is the still face? By shifting from the object of the gaze to the subject of the observation, you immediately reclaim your power. You are no longer waiting to be noticed. You are deciding who is worth your notice. This is sovereign invisibility. Tool number 2, the grey rock of the soul. If you are invisible to toxic people, keep it that way. In our previous research, we discussed the grey rock method for dealing with narcissists, but you can apply this to the whole world. If the world wants to give you a still face, give it a grey rock back. Do not over-explain. Do not perform. Do not try to be the funny one or the helpful one just to get a crumb of attention. Be boring to those who do not value you. Save your 8K resolution for the people and the projects that actually nourish your soul. When you stop leaking your energy into the void of indifferent people, that energy begins to build up inside you. It creates a magnetic density. Ironically, when you stop trying to be seen, people start to become curious about you. They sense a weight to your silence that wasn't there before. Tool number 3, the internal mirroring protocol. Since the world is not mirroring you, you must mirror yourself. This is the psychological practice of self-witnessing. Start a daily presence audit. At the end of the day, do not write about who ignored you. Write about what you observed. I noticed the way the light hit the brick wall at 4 p.m. I noticed the specific tone of my own voice when I said no to that request. By documenting your own existence, you provide the synchrony that your nervous system is starving for. You are telling your brain, "I see you," even if they don't. This heals the vagus nerve. This pulls you out of the dorsal vagal shutdown. Tool number 4, the architecture of the greenhouse. Remember our metaphor of the orchid and the dandelion. If you are a sensitive, high-processing person, you cannot thrive in a still-face sidewalk. You must move to the greenhouse. This means being ruthless with your environment. If your social circle makes you feel invisible, it is not your job to fix yourself to fit in. It is your job to leave. Find the synchrony elsewhere. Find the people who record in 8K like you do. They are out there. They are the online ghosts who are watching this right now. You are currently in a greenhouse of minds. By listening to this, you're engaging in cognitive synchrony with thousands of others who feel exactly like you do. The invisible tribe is the largest tribe on Earth. We are just the quietest.
Invisible might.
As we draw this deep dive to a close, I want you to look at your hands. They are solid. They are real. You are not a ghost. You are a biological masterpiece that has survived a world designed to make you feel like a mistake. The pain of being ignored is not a sign that you are worthless. It is a sign that your social radar is working perfectly. It is telling you that you are in the wrong environment. It is telling you that you are trying to feed your soul with digital still faces instead of human truth. I want you to make a promise to that infant inside you, the one who is still waiting for the mother world to smile back. Tell that child, I see you. I will not leave you in the shadows anymore. We are going to build our own light. In the coming year, 2026, the world will only get noisier. More people will become still faces. More algorithms will try to cyberball you into desperation. Do not fall for the trick. Your invisibility is not a cage, it is a cloak. Under that cloak, you can study, you can grow, and you can build a life of such profound meaning that the world's attention becomes irrelevant. And that, my friend, is the ultimate Stoic victory. If you felt a shift in your gravity today, if you realized that you are the architect of your own presence, then you belong here. Subscribe to the Behavioral Psychology Lab. We are the watchers on the tower. We are the ones who see the patterns that everyone else misses. Before you leave, I have one request. Leave a comment below with the word seen. Just that one word. It is a signal to your own nervous system and a signal to this community that you have stepped out of the invisible prison. Take one last deep breath. Feel the ground beneath you. You are here. You take up space, and you are magnificent in your complexity. Thank you for your time, thank you for your depth, and thank you for being the witness to this deep dive. Until next time, keep observing, keep building your inner citadel, and never apologize for the quiet power of your soul. We will see you in the next deep dive. Goodbye for now. Think about the moon. Half the time, it is invisible to us. It hides in the shadow of the earth or is drowned out by the sun. But the moon never stops moving. It never stops pulling the tides of the entire ocean. You don't need to be the sun to have an impact. You can be the moon, quiet, unseen, but powerful enough to move worlds. Go and be the moon.